Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Always Believer. Today I have like one of my utmost favorite TikTokers, and they're a couple, and I'm super excited. And you can tell my voice. I'm always excited for all my guests because I feel like I open up every single podcast episode the same way, but it's true because I love the people I get to hang out with. And today I have the Gates Familia. Hi, we have of course Carla and David. Hi.
Hola.
Hola. I am so happy and thankful to have you here. Um, Before we dive into like the million multicultural questions, tell us a little bit about you so our audience knows what you're both all about.
My name is Carla.
Carla?
Okay, but here, of course, I am Carla, and I'm originally from Lima, Peru, but I moved to United States in 2005. I'm a nurse. I love my culture. And when I came here to United States, I realized that it was not only about Peru, but it was like bigger than that to be called or to be a Latina. And I realized too that I love United States and I love the mix of like bringing my culture and the culture from here. So you?
I don't know how to follow it up. I'm David, super ultra geeky. I play with computers all day for my job. I'm a IT manager, so I get to play with computers.
That also sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I love all the like geeky stuff of like Star Wars. All the cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can probably, if you come on our TikTok, you'll see all the like funky shirts I love to wear just because I'm like super geeky. My heritage is English and Scottish, so I'm probably about as gringo as you can get. And I burn up in the sun. But cool fact about us, I got married in my family tartan. So all of our wedding pictures, I'm in a kilt. So I'm really cool. I love my heritage as much as she loves her Peruvian heritage. So it's a cool combination.
I adore that. I already told you hands down, we have a lot of things in common because I also married someone from the States and I'm part Venezuelan, part Ecuadorian. And I grew up in Spain as well.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Super
exactly. Cool. I was here till I was like 9, and then we moved to Spain, then we moved back, and then we finally moved when I was like 14, and then we moved back. Well, I moved back, better said, in 2019. So for like 16, 17 years, I lived in Europe and mainly Spain. So my Spanish is a weird accent. People know because it's like a little bit Venezuelan, a little bit Spanish from Spain. I mean, so it's like all over the place. But I also married my darling best friend, of course, who happens to be from New England, from here. So we definitely have a lot in common. He has a German heritage, but same diff, give or take. I mean, basically, he also gets very sunburned and and he loves his German food as well. So I mean, pretty much.
I don't go as far as eating haggis, so I can tell you that much.
Okay, yes.
Haggis is too adventurous for me.
Yeah, no, see, I can't deal with German food, but hey, and I lived in Germany as well, so that was a whole different adventure of its own.
You have been all over the world.
Yes.
Nice.
Quite a traveler. And then as far as Star Wars go, he adores Star Wars. So once again, I completely like
you understand.
I get a lot of Star Wars fan, like anything from I don't even remember the name. The TV show on Disney Plus, and I can't remember. Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Oh, yeah.
So there's plenty to talk about without
yeah.
My goodness. So one of the first things that popped into my mind when I went to like research and when I went to see you a little bit more, you also wrote it in one of your YouTube videos, Pareja Internacional, of course. You're an international couple, which I freaking adore. So let's go back down to the basics. What made you fall in love with each other? How did your love story start a little bit?
You want me to start? No, you start. I want to hear it from you.
All right. So
she always starts though. Every time like this question gets asked in every single interview, she usually starts. So it's your turn.
All right. So I was out of a relationship of like a year. Wasn't looking for anything serious. Went on the internet and we met on eHarmony. I really wasn't looking for like a serious relationship. But just the very first date, we clicked, and just there wasn't a moment of silence. It was like every question I would ask would give her, she'd give an answer, and it would make her think of like 2 or 3 questions, which would make me think of like 2 or 3 questions, and it was just a constant back and forth. And it was we never finished a date, even after the first one, without already arranging the next date. Before our date finished, I had already gotten a commitment from you to go out the next time. And it just kept building and building from there. I mean, we clicked. I don't know any other way to describe it. The conversation just kept moving. And don't get me wrong, we are very opposite. If you kind of see, and I'm a bit more outgoing. I laugh. I talk. She doesn't like to talk to a lot of people. She's not as outgoing as I am. We complement each other, so it's really good.
That is really it seems like the opposite. It seems like she's more outgoing.
Yeah,
but I like that it's the opposite. See, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm like you, and my husband's like her then.
And you know that's something that we hear a lot. People think that because I am super friendly, like when I'm with my friends, I'm the one that is gonna go to the dance floor first, that's the one that is gonna go and start like, oh, see, yeah, let's go, let's do it. But that's when I'm with my group of friends. That's when I'm already like feeling comfortable. If we are out, just like in the grocery store, he will talk to the cashier. He will talk to the person that is cleaning. He will make friends like just right there. I am not like that. I will be quiet, and especially because now I like the mask. So, I wear my mask and that's it.
But yeah. She's right though. In situations where she's comfortable with the people, she's way more outgoing and she goes a little nuts. But when just every day, I'm the one that won't stop talking.
Yeah, so I'm definitely more like you, David. I make friends everywhere I go, and my husband Dylan, he's like, how did you just get? I'm like, I don't know, and we get like a free sample or something, or like someone's number and like someone's contact. I'm like, you never know, just go for it. So he would definitely understand you, Carla. He's like, I'm just gonna sit in the corner, and he's happy with the masks as well. He's like, I just walk through the grocery store without being noticed. So that's how you met. And then how is that journey of falling in love with each other? Because you're both from very different cultures. So like, just start from there.
Well, after the third date is when we truly it was our first kiss on the third date. And even on those small things, we had like difference on our cultures and our backgrounds, because, he is older than me for 8 years old. He comes from a culture that I'm not saying that is good or bad, but, somewhere that having more 3, 4, 5 girlfriends is fine, it's okay. Where I grew up, as a girl, you're not supposed to go out, you're not supposed to kiss, you're not supposed to have boyfriends, that's bad, you need to get married and all that. I was living in Lima, Peru until I was 24, 25? No, 23.
Like 22, 23.
23. So I came with that, and I still remember on the first day, he asked so many times if I kissed on the first date. And I said to him, I only kiss my boyfriends. I don't even kiss just because we had a nice date. It's not a way for me to say thank you. And even when he was dropping me at the house, he asked again, he's like, so you said that you don't kiss on the first date, even like if you're having a good date? I'm like, yeah, no, you need to be my boyfriend for me to kiss you. So on the third day we kissed, and as a good Latina, I asked, so what are we, right?
Because we straight to it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he was very good.
How long was, sorry to interrupt, but like, how long was the first date to the third date? What time span was that?
I think it was 3 weeks, because we were very busy. So it was only on the weekends that we saw each other. Yeah.
It was a week and a half, because we would do the weekends, we would do dates like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we would do all that.
No, but the first one was only like, we went for dinner on a Friday, then, we met during the week. The second day was during the week, and then we went to a soccer game on the third day. So it was like maybe 3 weeks.
Okay, straight to the point. I love it.
Yes. because we kiss. So when we kiss, I asked him, what are we? As a good guy from the United States, he said, we are dating. I said, what is that? He's like, well, I like you, you like me, and we are seeing where this is gonna take us. Of course, that didn't last too long. I think after just 2-3 more dates, right away, he was asking to be my boyfriend. And that was something nice. And he did it because we talk. That's the main thing of our relationship. Our cultures are so different. And I needed to change too, because as a good Latina too, sometimes I wanted him to read my mind, but he's never gonna understand my culture. He's never gonna know what I'm thinking, what I want. So from there, it came the communication. Communication became our best friend. The very first time I had a hard time, he's very good with talking. And at that time, he was very good. He will come and say, I understand how you're feeling. This is really hard. Maybe we can read something together. Let's see, maybe would you like to watch a movie? Do you want me to bring your favorite food? But he never gave me a hug or a kiss. He's not very touchy-feely, or he wasn't very touchy-feely. So I remember being very upset, crying because my grandfather passed at that time. And I look at him and say, stop that. Just hug me and kiss me and let me cry on your shoulder. That's all I want. I just want you to hug me, kiss me, y que me apapaches, and that's it. And it clicked on him, you know. Now, it's not that he learned that at once. It's been a constant thing. We are 13 years together. And the same with him, you know, it's like sometimes he wanted his space. I'm a Latina, so I want to be all over him, you know, and I needed to understand that no, he needs his space. So in that way, our relationship is going to work. In that way, we're going to be both happy. I will say, now he's Mr. Melcocha. He's all the time like wanting kisses and hugs and everything.
She spoiled me and completely ruined.
And he gave me some of his, because now I'm like, give me my space. Stop that. So from now,
it eventually balanced out.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, same with food. At the beginning, he will eat anything out. He doesn't eat spicy food. Can you believe that? He does not eat spicy food. So I will take him to eat a lot of spicy food, and he will eat it for me. Until we were like already 6 months in the relationship, and he's like, honey, I cannot take this anymore. So, you know, it needed to happen with a lot of communication. There was another thing. I used to be younger. I was just going to school and working as a server. So, you know, every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I would love to go out with my friends and party until 3-4 a.m. in the morning. And he wanted to keep up with me. Okay.
Well, and I was working full time, so like Thursday and Friday. By that time, I had Friday morning. I was like, oh my god! I've been out partying till 2 o'clock in the morning for like 3 straight days, and trying to balance a full time job. I'm like, this is insane.
So 3 months after that, after the crazy going out 3 days a week, he looked at me too, and I still remember we were watching a show. He turned, hold my hands. He's feeling kind of sick, and he's like, honey, I cannot take this anymore. I am sick. Every Saturday when I drop you home, I need like a full day to recover. I cannot do this of going out and dance and drink. So you can take it, or this is not going to work.
I was like, we can do that. But just do one night. Just pick one night. So then that way I get a day to recover, and I'm good. You know. So, and when I said that, I was actually like deathly ill. Like she actually came over and like brought me chicken soup and everything. And I just looked at her. I was like, I'm so sick because I can't keep up with you.
So I will say that everything is being like learning about ourselves, learning about what makes us happy, what makes us who we are, but communication. Main thing was communication for us. We both needed to change a lot of things, or not change, but you know, that of meeting in the middle.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Someone else can't read your mind. So if there's things that you need to like be happy or to like be able to communicate the right way, you have to tell somebody. You have to tell them. You have to say, this is the way I like to resolve fights. This is the way I like to have my peanut butter bread or whatever, right? No one's ever going to read your mind of like, I need this to feel good. I need this, I need that. You got to say it. And that's exactly how you start to like kind of compromise, find the middle ground, and just get to that.
I adore that completely. I always said communication is key. Like balance is key. I feel like they come like hand in hand without a doubt. And even if you were from the same culture, it's the exact same thing. They're not going to read your mind. You're still a different human being. Like
Yep,
maybe
exactly.
you don't like peanut butter and jelly. Maybe you like chocolate chip cookies instead. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
But especially with two different cultures, much I can resonate with both, obviously. Like you were saying, it's like he doesn't know, he wasn't touchy-feely at first. I mean, so was my husband. He wasn't really, he was towards me, but not as much as one would want or need the way that we are used to it, of course. And now he does that completely. And then from that moment onward, or like from that example, so on and so forth, a bunch more, of course. The way that we react, the way that we talk to each other, communication is key and honesty is key, and like just talk, which is like our favorite pastime since we were met. So I feel like that's something else we have in common, of course, as couples. And I feel like that could be also like because of the different backgrounds, because you know you want to know more and you want to understand more and you want to like you're interested about it as well. And then the whole going out thing, he definitely understands you. He also lived in Spain. Like we lived in Spain together for a little bit, and Spain parties hard. Like Spain parties till 6 a.m, 7 a.m. Like clubs don't really close. There you go. Like clubs close here in the States at 2 a.m, and I'm like, at 2 you're getting to the club. Like what's happening here? So yeah,
you need to go to the after party.
Yes. There you go. Also, like we're still going. Like our after party starts at 6, 7 a.m. You know it. And I love going out and I love hanging out with my friends. I'm very sociable with my friends, which once again, I think it resonates and makes sense. So for him, it was also like once in a while or once a week, finding that kind of middle ground, or just be like, you go out, have fun. I'll see you when you come home, babe. I love you. Kind of deal.
I've had nights that way.
It's like, go, I'll take you and I'll pick you up, or he will be like, okay, who's coming to pick you up? This person, okay. And if they're gonna drink, just call me. And I have done it multiple times, going out with my girls, and then it's like, hey, pick me up, I'm done here, and he will come and pick me up.
That's the beauty of a relationship at the end of the day, even if you're from the same culture. I love it, like the kind of love and the kind of fun and just cool balance that you guys have. It just resonates not only with me for obvious reasons, but it comes through the screen without a doubt. So super excited to have you, I swear. So look forward to that. Oh yeah, so I did have a couple of questions, of course. One about was the salsa dancing, because I heard the anecdote in different other videos and things like that. You didn't like salsa dancing, but you said you did.
I did not start. I did not start out as a good dancer. I was horrible. I had like 2 left feet. I was the guy in the corner with the like, what was it? The white man's overbite, they call it, or like that, you know, like
yeah.
That's where
my
I
husband
was
as well. Yes.
Yeah. So
he did, but you know what? Even on that night, because the third day, we went to a soccer game, then we went to have pizza, and then we went to a club. Well, he danced the whole night. Later on, he told me that usually when he goes to a club or when he went to a club, he will just have a drink and just sit in the corner and stand, you know, and just kind of like move, but in his place. He danced the whole night. Now, he danced the gringo way. He had the sprinkle. He came with the...
You start the lawnmower.
Oh, the lawnmower.
Yeah.
But he danced the whole night. And in my head, I was like, at least he danced, right? At least he danced. So I can deal with him. I can teach him. And he did learn pretty easy, because we start changing the clubs too. At the beginning, we used to go to more American things, like a lot of rock and all of that. And then we start going to like...
Well, we found our niche. We found a place to hang out when we were dating. We finally found the right balance of a place that had good music that you could dance to, but still you were able to sit and have drinks and people watch and talk, and you were kind of able to do everything. And on top of that, after like the second time there, we got to know the bartender, so it made it feel like it was home. So it was just, we just stumbled upon the right place that kind of was that blend of things she loves, things I love, where we could all have a good time all within the same night, right?
But I will say TikTok has helped us even more, because you can see that now. He was already very good with bachata because it has taken me, 12 years. He's good with bachata. Salsa. But with TikTok, you have no idea like how many bloopers I have. And sometimes I don't want to put them because, it's like he tried his best and his hardest. But now there's even one where he's dancing samba, and he's trying his best and his hardest. And TikTok has helped us a lot with his dancing skills.
Do you enjoy dancing? All these sorts of.
Yeah. No, I love dancing with her. Just because it's something that's fun for us. So it's now become something that's part of us and part of us having a good time. So
that's very sweet. Would you ever take classes?
I actually took a class with her, excuse me, in the very beginning. I didn't really know salsa. My alma mater had a salsa club, and she's like, hey, I saw that where you went to school has a salsa club. At this night, they're doing 30 minutes of free lesson and then an hour and a half worth of salsa dance. So let's go. I was like, okay. So we went and we did like a little 30-minute lesson and taught me the basics. So I was and that kind of started us down the dancing path. I mean, and I sit down and I watch So You Think You Can Dance with her like all the time. That's one of her favorite shows.
Used to. We don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore. Yeah, but I would sit there and watch that all the time.
And we have done like some of those, when the clubs were open, or I don't know if they were open already, like salsa night. They usually, if you go like around 9 p.m., that's early for Latinos, they do the class. So we will try our best to show up earlier, and so we will do some together class. So in that way, it's easier for him. Then here in Atlanta, there's a museum that had long time ago before Corona, a Latino night too. And it was inside the museum. Fernbag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Is that a museum?
Yes. So you're dancing with the dinosaurs and all that is really cool.
You're dancing underneath like a big giant full Tyrannosaurus Rex exhibit. It's very
cool.
Yeah, they have drinks and they have a chat and salsa, and they will do classes between 8 and 8:30.
And they combine that with that museum has an IMAX theater. So they combine like salsa dancing and lessons and nights, and then they run movies on the IMAX, as well as like all these cocktails and everything like that. It's a very cool night, right? A very cool night at the museum place. So we love that place. We were members for a while.
That is really, really cool and really innovative. I've never heard of like a night at the museum that kind of way. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So definitely salsa, well, better said, dancing in general is a big part of your life, without a doubt. Yeah. I adore that because you're like embracing, as always, each other's culture completely and utterly.
Yeah.
So talking about embracing, how did you adapt? Like, for example, for the holidays, what are your traditions? What are your birthday traditions? Because my birthday was in April and his is in March, and like my version of like a birthday is completely different than his, with like different kind of music, and we put more talking about salsa, we put like los tambores venezolanos, and kind of we're very hyped up. But how do you embrace that? How do you adapt yourselves for like Christmas or other holidays?
I will say for birthdays, there's something big that he probably is not even thinking, because it's the norm in our family. It doesn't matter if it's my birthday, his birthday, or the kid's birthday. We sing happy birthday and then comes feliz cumpleaños. It doesn't matter if we're throwing a big party, like we did a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. So everybody came from school and everything. We had the whole place. And even my kids know. It doesn't matter if the rest of the kids are quiet. It is to you, feliz cumpleaños, Ati, and everybody goes. He goes, my mom, if another friends that are being with us from the past, and the same for my birthday. It's not that we're only gonna say it in Spanish because I'm from Peru. No, it's like we start with English and then we continue with the Spanish. We don't have las mañanitas, because some of my Latino friends sometimes, if they are here, if they want to go with las mañanitas, we'll let them. So in that way too, the kids are learning new things. So that's, I will say, for the birthday, that's our norm. There's nothing different. What they love is that every kid's birthday, we have piñatas. They need to have a piñata. Even if it is like we had Corona birthdays and it's been 3 kids, my 2 boys and their best friend, and that's it, 3 kids, nothing else. But we had a piñata, and that's something that he didn't have. And it's kind of funny too, because for good or bad, we are in a neighborhood that is more people from the United States than multicultural people. So it's kind of fun to see them, how they react to the piñata, a box full of candy, and then you need to throw yourself to the floor to get candy. But if there's a lot of candy on the table and there's more candy, so we have some funny videos of kids just standing like, what is this? I would say singing birthday in both languages, piñata for sure. What else?
What we ended up doing really is we just kind of found things that were still important. We
celebrate Thanksgiving.
We kind of blended a lot of things, right? So you've got like Thanksgiving is we that's kind of a blend too. We cook the turkey in like a Peruvian dressing and been marinating in Peruvian spices, but we have like traditional American side dishes and things, and we end up eating the meal in a more traditional way. When it comes to Christmas, it depends on whether or not we're going to do it here. Some years we'll go to my parents' house, and at my parents' house it's going to be very a traditional American. When we stay here and we're just by ourselves in the house, we are kind of blended, right? So we'll do the big dinner on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. We'll even have some of my friends from here in the States over, that we consider family, and we have that big Christmas Eve dinner, and the kids stay up till midnight, and we put the baby Jesus in the nativity.
And we pray, we say the good things and everything, and then they go to bed, and they're allowed to open one present. Because we needed to do a combination. When I was a kid, I opened all my presents at night, and I was able to play with everything because we didn't have anything the next day. Well, for me, Santa comes.
Santa comes overnight. So you open all your presents on Christmas morning. So we've found a way to navigate, again, kind of the things that honor traditions and culture for her and honor things for us. And we've kind of made our own culture, and we're making our kids understand that, hey, things are a little bit different for us, but we like it. And the kids understand that, and they understand that, oh, well, this stuff came from where mommy's from, and this is kind of how daddy grew up, and they understand those things. And I mean, it's the same. We do the same thing with the kids of understanding. Our kids completely go in and out seamlessly between English and Spanish. Like they don't hesitate. We'll be sitting in a restaurant, and Carla will turn and speak to our oldest in Spanish, and then all of a sudden the waitress will start speaking in Spanish, and then our oldest turns and looks and starts speaking in Spanish, and then turns and speaks to me in English, like all instantaneously in a 10-15 second span, just sitting in a restaurant, right? So
and I think we've kind of done that. The other holidays that we are big about it is 4th of July, that I try my best to don't touch that holiday. That holiday, we're gonna make it exactly how he did it, and everything with the
fireworks. I get steak. That's the day.
He gets the colors. It's not like, oh, I'm from Peru, I'm not gonna put the United States color all over me. No, we wear red, white, and blue. I want my kids to be super proud of that. But then 28 de Julio, July 28th, that's Peruvian Independence Day. So that's the day when the kids are gonna get, everything about me. We're gonna go and eat some Peruvian food. They know that my colors are white and red, and they feel Peruvian. So everything is a little bit of of both. I don't have, at least Peru is not that big with, I think it's Pascua de Reyes, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask that one, and then Pascua, like Easter, of course. Like for me, for example, for Reyes, which is January from 5th to January 6th, like actual Reyes, January 6th. Growing up in Venezuela, not growing up, I didn't grow up in Venezuela. Growing up Venezuelan tradition, better said, we just put some shoes right outside our door, and it was like, it's kind of, think of like in USA, like stocking, basically. Yep. But then when I moved to Spain, it is their Christmas. So Christmas, they get like 1 or 2 gifts, but in Spain, it's like literally Santa came, which in other words, los Reyes Magos, they came and they brought you a whole bunch of gifts. They have, like, the kids don't have school, of course, not the 5th to the 6th, because the holiday vacation period lasts longer in Spain. So even though we don't have kids just yet, we also have integrated between each other, of course, a whole bunch of different things. We also do like the one present at midnight for Christmas, without a doubt. That's like a given. I actually start December 21st because I always have like El Espíritu Navidad, like the spirit of Christmas comes down. I don't know what part of like Venezuela is that from, but I like, you open one gift that day. And then he adored the fact of like Reyes as well, to like make the season last even a little bit longer. So we do have like that mix of in between. And we're still trying to adapt and figure out what's best. I think what we did last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think we did like the biggest gifts for Reyes, like right at the end. So like the ones that we thought that had the most value, not money value, just like value of like what we like the special ones that we thought, I think that's what we ended up doing. And that's what we're going to do in the future, of course, as well as many other traditions that we're just going to adapt to by all means. That was Reyes, exactly. And then my other question was Easter. I don't know about you guys. I mean, we're not really big on Easter either way, but what about you? Like, is that something important for you that you have to like mesh together?
No, the big thing for us was Easter. Easter's about the time where, so here in Atlanta, by the time you get to Easter, it's really starting to get warm. So Easter is about the time where it's some of the first time you can wear shorts and t-shirts. And typically what we've done is we have some close neighbors in our neighborhood, and we'll typically get together for very low casual. Everybody's excited because we're kind of in the first weekend of being able to wear shorts and t-shirt. And we do it here in our backyard. Carla and I haven't in the last couple of years, but Carla goes through, we have all of these huge amount of plastic eggs, and she fills them all with candy, spreads them all throughout our whole backyard, and we have all the three, ends up being about 6 kids, yeah.
Ended up being
like three
haven't
families.
Done it this year because of Corona,
Of course.
But that's a tradition that it was from United States, and I needed to adapt. I thought that was super cute. I think the main thing for me was like, we need to go to mass. We have different religions, but at least at the end we believe in God. So that's what we are trying to still the kids to, and that's the only time that I will ask him to go to mass with me. Because, it's like I say, I believe in God, but at the end, I want them to find God in their own way.
Completely agree. That's really beautiful that you're able to add and just put it all together and make it that more of a beautiful multicultural and multilingual house. Actually, that's one of my biggest questions, of course, because I know that your kids are bilingual. I grew up bilingual. I grew up traveling around the world, luckily, for good or for bad, whatever life threw my way, basically. So I'm very much used to it. And anytime I interview people who have grown up bilingual, different cultures, they're like what you were saying, David, like, oh, I can go from Spanish to English in just a few seconds. I can talk to the waiter in English, and I talk to my mom in Spanish, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm so used to that. Was that the first time like you ever felt that shock? Because if you were in Peru till you're 23, and with you, it's your first time with someone Latin, I think, or like at least you learned Spanish without, because you definitely know Spanish as well, which congratulations.
I struggle with my Spanish. A lot of I'll be frank and honest. A lot of the Spanish TikTok videos, I practice ungodly amounts of time to really be able to get it that good. In just normal everyday conversation, my Spanish is not very good. It's enough where people that are bilingual are forgiving and they understand what I'm trying to say, and I can get out what I'm trying to say and express myself. Is it grammatically correct? Absolutely not.
Where you can see like his real Spanish that is not rehearsed, so you can see his level, is in the videos that he has with my parents, because those are truly their interaction. That's how he talks to my parents. He goes into a Spanglish, and my parents too. So it's a mix, and it's kind of like a 2-year-old that sometimes sounds like a 10-year-old and then goes to a little words in English. He does try a lot, especially for my parents. Like, he's so good on that. To me, he speaks English, okay? He doesn't speak Spanish. Now, he is very good with some words. Like, we have a video about chisme. He does that all the time. And even when I'm talking to my mom and we go like really fast between each other, and he comes, sometimes with a cafecito, or sometimes you get really close and you are like, chisme? Is this a good chisme? Yep. Can I know the chisme? I'm like, a chisme, he knows.
Or the funnier thing is, what they don't pick up is, so we'll all be sitting at the dinner table. I'll get up, I'll be doing the dishes, getting everything together, and her dad will start helping me. And Carla and her mom are sitting there just going at it back and forth with the chisme. And her dad comes over, hands me the plate, and he goes, chismosas. I was like, ooh, gotta finish. And so I run over to try and sit down and go like, oh, tell me the chisme.
I love it so much. You definitely reminded me of my husband, because he picks up some words. He knows some words that he absolutely adores as well. He says it all the time. And then, much like you two, we say each other like our nicknames for each other are automatic in Spanish. So like it's integrated every day, little by little. We say bebe a lot. We say cariño. So like, even though it's really simple words, of course, but like it's automatic. So anytime that we talk to each other, so instead of saying sweetheart, we go bebe. They know. It's like, that's our word. That was the first word. When I was giving him like a long list, he's like, oh, I like that one. I'm like, okay, let's start from that one and then move on forward, basically. So from that moment, of course, of integrating and the chisme and the words, your boys, of course, how do you introduce bilingualism in your house? What do you do?
I think there was a never like how we're gonna introduce. I will say this because I think, and I hope that the majority of my Latinas out there, I hope that they want to speak Spanish forever. So when I was pregnant and he had some questions, because he was worried about everything. He was worried. He worried a lot, even that it doesn't look like. He worries a lot, and he was worried already on like, oh, we need to baby-proof the house.
I'm a planner. I'm not a worrier. I'm a planner. I don't like. I'm like, she's like super spontaneous. I like to plan. Like, I want to know what's coming. Like, I organize and run a shared family calendar that goes to all of our phones. So then that way we know, hey, there's practice tonight over here at this time and this time and that. She's not that. She calls that worrying.
Okay. So at that time, when we talk about Spanish, he sometimes do read too much, I will say. And again, he is an IT and I'm in the medical field, as a nurse. So I will say that at least on the kids' development, I'm more involved about what is the norm, how we need to do it. So he was already worried of how we're going to introduce, you were planning of how we're going to introduce Spanish to the kids, and say, no, it's going to be very easy. I'm going to speak Spanish to my kids. All the kids' songs that I know are in Spanish. So I'm going to sing to my baby in Spanish. And by the time they start talking, if they don't ask me for agua or for leche, I'm going to look at them and say, ¿qué? ¿Qué? Until they say agua and they instead of water, and until they say leche instead of milk. And the curious thing is that the first word of my oldest one, it was agua. Because I always will look at him and say, do you want your agüita, mi amor? Bring me your agua. And he knew already, because I will always talk to him in Spanish. And there was no confusion at all. I will say, for the moms that are doing it, sometimes with my second one, it took him longer to start talking. But when that kid started talking, he went in both languages like, blah, blah, blah. I was the point of like, okay, just be quiet for a minute, So I never saw any delay on reading or any problems. It was just like, this is what we do. This is our house. This is how you're growing. And they are kids. They don't know any different. They are just organic.
That was the thing too. So it wasn't, it was introduced. She did it. Like she said, she just 100%, I'm going to speak Spanish from. They're going to get English off the TV or whatever. And then also on top of that, we would make sure we had all the kids shows in both English and in Spanish. So they would just start it, like, our boys know, not just do they know like Barney, but if you say Barney, they may look at you and go, Barney the dinosaur or Barney el camión, because they know them both and they saw them both, right? So they'll be sitting there watching TV, and we have a van with the TV in it, and they'll watch TV and they'll go from watching something in English and the next disc is
in Spanish,
all in Spanish, and it's cartoons in Spanish.
Paw Patrol, es la patrulla de cachorros.
Yeah. And
I was going to say la patrulla canina because that's Spanish from Spain.
It's depending from you got the DVD. If it's an original, it's gonna be la patrulla canina. But if it's like a $1 thing, it's la patrulla de cachorros.
I did not know that. Oh my god, I love
it. So it's we didn't really introduce. We just went that. We're like, this is just how it is, and that's gonna be it. I didn't have any issues with it. I was lucky when I was younger to actually get to do a lot of traveling and live in other countries and do a bunch of different things. So it wasn't a huge shock of like, oh well, that's your culture, that's going to be part of it.
And I will say again, for all the moms, all the dads, everybody that is multicultural, keep trying, because I know that sometimes it will be so much easier for me to just speak English, But no, even when we are having dinner, we both from English to Spanish to Spanglish too. I don't make my kids feel bad if they throw Spanglish, because I believe that if they want to speak Spanglish, at least they are communicating. They're trying their best, because I want them to speak the language that they feel comfortable. And I have seen that even here, that sometimes when they cannot speak Spanish to perfection, they feel afraid, because they're here in the United States and they don't want to say it. Okay, so if you feel better with Spanglish, go with Spanglish. Just make sense, and the other person is going to understand you, especially because when I came, I knew that my English wasn't perfect. So I did appreciate that people that even if I messed up or if I didn't say a word correctly, they still gave me the look of okay, I think I got you. You didn't say it perfect, but I got you. Don't worry, girl. We're helping you.
Exactly.
So we don't punish here Spanglish. Just make sure that you communicate. What we are gonna help you is let's say that you mispronounce, but you use a word in the wrong way. I don't know how. I cannot have an example right now.
That you do that to me all the time. So.
Yes, we're gonna
say the
help
wrong
you
tense.
we're gonna put it correctly.
Right. You'll be told how to do it the right way.
Yeah,
or something. I just remember an example masculine and feminine in Spanish.
Yes,
because that's what happens a lot.
Yes, I'm terrible with that.
Yeah, that's what it is too. He tries. He really tries.
Yeah. Oh. La agua, no mi amor, es el agua. But mami, it's an A, yes, but it's el agua.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it is. Exactly. I love how he just made it completely normal, which that's the way it should be, of course, and that they're not ashamed. I heard so many different stories back and forth. I've talked about it in many different podcast episodes because I feel it's so important. I grew up bilingual in my house as well. We grew up in Miami, so my mom was in Spanish, with my dad was in English. Even though both of them were bilingual, it was still kind of the norm. Even though I grew up in Miami, people were like, "Oh my God, of course you spoke Spanish when you were little," and I'm like, "Well, you're in school; it's all in English, so it's not necessarily the same. It's like if I went to school in Washington, basically. Do I have more multicultural people? Yeah, of course, but still, hence the accent. But thankfully, because of that, when by coincidence of life, we moved to Spain, I was already bilingual. And that's my number one goal whenever I have kids, no matter who I married. In this case, of course, I'm in the States in this particular case. And even though he is learning Spanish, it is something so important to us. I spoke about this, actually, this anecdote, I spoke about it in Spanish because I have a really good friend, Marita de Bellas, who was on my show twice. And she actually, I thought of you guys as well because she has the new book. of like, you need to have it like literally next to me because it just arrived today, coincidentally enough. But it's called I Have a Secret, and it's in Spanish and in English. And the secret is that the kid's bilingual and like he wants to adapt and wants to like not be like ridiculed. That's not a word.
Ridicule.
Thank you. Ridiculed is the accent, see? And so on and so forth. So what the anecdote that I shared with her in Spanish, I can take advantage of sharing it now. We have a cat. We adore animals. So we have our first kitty. And the first thing that I said, I was like, I'm gonna start talking to him in Spanish just to get like used to it. And even though it's crazy because it's an animal, at the end of the day, like, of course, especially a cat, it's not like a dog. So I speak to him in Spanish literally all the time. And because we're fully vaccinated, we're finally able to visit my best friend and my uncle. All of them have cats. And literally we rolled up to their house, we went inside, and every single cat I saw, I spoke to in Spanish, like automatically. And I'm like, this is working. Because it's kind of like a way to like start that pattern and start that way. And then that's how you also learn more Spanish, because I talk to the cat a lot, because I'm one of those people that, like it's a little thing, it's a little living thing that I want to cuddle up next to. So just my crazy cat story of being bilingual.
We were just talking about that this morning. We're not kidding. And we are even thinking about doing a TikTok about that, because I call my dog, I don't say come here, it's Ben. And he will call her, come here. And I was looking at my dog. I say, come here in Spanish. I say, Ben. And then I look at her and I say, dame un beso. And he's like, she's not going to remember because, she learned those words when she was little. I'm like, no, I always ask her for a kiss. And she knows beso. So she's going to give me a kiss. And he was looking at the dog like, she's not going to give you a kiss. I'm like, Lima, dame un beso. Lima, give me a kiss. She looked at him, look at me, and started licking me. I'm like, I told you, she remembers. I speak Spanish to the dog. He speaks English. Exactly.
I love that
like
so much. I'm not the only one. Like, if it were a dog, it would definitely be understanding more than a cat, of course, but we don't have a dog yet. So I was like, I have to start. Like, I have to get used to it.
You're doing it great.
Because like, much like you said, and much like I talk with my Tere, with to talk to other bilingual moms and parenting, like Janet Camplum as well, like, you got to keep going. Thankfully, there's a lot of resources out there finally, but you got to keep going and make sure, because I think being bilingual is obviously a beautiful thing. And just like, not only embracing cultures, but just it's a huge way to like, for life. Oh my goodness, I love talking to you. For last, because probably can be here forever without a doubt, my loves, is of course, I saved the best for last. What else could it be at this point? Your TikToks, of course. Your TikTok. Tell us your journey. Tell us why you started. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right. So everything starts shutting down because of COVID. We have some family that's here she's by herself, living in Virginia. She's what, 23?
Yeah, she's like younger than us.
She's younger than us. She's living by herself in Virginia, and she called us and said, hey, I'm really nervous with what's going on. And we said, your family, come. And so she came to live with us through kind of quarantine. And she's like, oh, you got to check this out. We didn't know anything about it.
We didn't have any idea what TikTok was, nothing.
Yeah.
And she wanted to start doing
she's like, look at this video. I want you to do it with me.
I'm like, no.
And she's like, what do you mean do it with me?
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, look, she shows TikTok, and it's the little, if everybody, you may have seen it. It went viral. No, their video didn't go viral, but the whole thing with the, oh, na, na, na. Oh, no, no.
Oh, yeah, the one
kid. Or you're like touching the feet, right?
Yes.
So she wanted to do that.
I did one with her, and I still remember she posted on her TikTok and everything and nothing. Then she asked me to do another one, and I did one on her account with the kids. And it didn't become viral, but it went to, I think, 9,000 likes right away or something like that, and she's like, oh, they like you and the kids. I'm like, they like me, and what do I gain with this? What do I do?
With this information, like what is
happening? Yes, like tell me. So she started telling me everything about TikTok, and I said, you want to give it a try? It's kind of cute. It's something fun that we can do right now that we are all at home. I needed to go to work, but then, during the weekends, the kids didn't have soccer, didn't have all the activities. He didn't want to do it at the beginning. He will do one with me a week, and that was it. The kids they were okay with doing more. They kind of like to see themselves in the camera and all of that. And I remember one night, because he does it all the time, it's never like we don't do it, because I know that some people say like, oh, he's always like that. He kind of is. Yes, TikTok now is like, when I come with a camera, of course he knows I'm recording it, but those are his reactions. That thing is what he's doing. Yes, he knows I'm recording it, but it's not that I tell him, this is what you're gonna say, this is how you're gonna act.
She doesn't say anything. She just comes up to me with the camera like,
yeah.
I heard a question. I'm like, okay.
That night, if you have had a chance to watch, or please, if you're listening to this, look at it. It's him sitting in my couch doing laundry. And we do that amount of laundry every single week. It's a bunch with all the activities and everything. It's a bunch of laundry. And there was this song that it was popular at that time. It's Mi Mujer Me Gobierna. My wife is my boss. And he didn't do anything. All I did was taking the camera. The song was playing.
The song wasn't even really playing.
No, the song was playing, but really like not too loud. So in the way he doesn't listen, and he's not able to understand what the song is saying. And all I said to him was, dance for me. And he made a little move with the shoulders. And that's exactly what I put at TikTok. All I said was, dance a little bit for me. And that one went viral. After that, we start doing some more. After that, they start liking his reactions. And I'm like, maybe we can, try to grow this and see where we go. And that's how we started. Now, honestly, I don't want to say that it takes a lot of our time, but because now we're kind of back to normal with, some activities and school, it takes some time, but we like it, and we like to keep sharing a little bit of our lives with you guys, because like some things like the Pantene thing and Pantene. Of course, he doesn't know that I'm gonna bother him in the supermarket with those type of questions. But we have done it in the past with our camera, because we like to laugh every day. We like to be silly with each other. So it's like, why not doing it with the camera? Why not sharing what we think is funny with you guys? And some of the comments on TikToks are not very nice. They're like, hey, this wasn't that funny. Well, but that's who we are. Some things are like truly coming from us. This is who we are, what we like. And if you like it, great. Come and join us in TikTok, come and join us in Instagram and YouTube. That's another thing that people want us to do, YouTube. And you should probably know it takes a lot of time. It's hard. We're gonna try our best, because everybody wants us to give you the full story of how we met, how it was the first day, the second day, with all the cute things that happened. And we promise you guys that we are gonna do it. But right now, TikTok is our best friend because it's only 15 seconds.
No matter how many times you practice beforehand.
Yeah, you practice a lot.
The Spanish, I mean, not not anything else.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yes, I've had emails of like the Spanish words.
Oh, and
Spanish
she's
words. Like, be ready to go at the end of the workday. I'm just telling you. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm sitting there like working and typing emails and like
trying to memorize
and remember my Spanish and make sure I conjugate it the right way and say it the right way and work hard at it. So,
I can see you like her leaving a voice memo how to say it, and then you on your drive back home just like have it on repeat or something.
Yeah, I should do that.
That could be it, because
I haven't done that. I need to remember that.
Because always the pronunciation as well, and I mean it helps you at the end of the day to know more Spanish. Yeah. I mean it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to hear her lovely voice in between. So I mean, come on.
Well, I always have to tell her to slow down a little bit, because when I'm trying to learn the pronunciation, sometimes she says it so quick that I can't hear the little nuance in the pronunciation. So if she does that, I'll have to make sure she like does it really, really slow so I can hear the exact right way to say it. Otherwise, I'll practice bad habits.
I agree. Like, I completely like understand you, because with my husband is the same. Like, I slow down a lot, and yeah, definitely. I love that journey for you. I love that you started. I understand completely YouTube and anything else, content creating, the whole world of the beautiful world of content creating takes a lot of time and effort and just energy by any stretch. I can definitely see you guys doing YouTube in the future, maybe during the summer, where it's a little bit, or it's
Yes.
different as well. I don't know. Who knows? Because I mean, yeah, those kids are in school now, but we'll see. And that aside, the YouTube, apart from like the first kiss and like the first dates, just like probably more stuff about you guys. I did see, of course, that you have like the trips that you've taken. You did put your TikToks there, which is always a lot of fun,
Yep.
of course. But yeah, I could definitely see that like you have the potential right there, because you're so fun. You're like very welcoming, very yourselves all the time. So, I mean, come on.
And that I think is what we wanted to share, because there's good and bad comments, but the good comments help us understand too that what we have is something good. So if you have something good, why not sharing it? Because before, when we didn't put it out there, we thought that this was the norm, and what I've seen too, because now we have reached to some kids, because kids are in TikTok and they're like, I would love for you to be my mom and dad, and then I start thinking, maybe, in their homes, they see a different interaction between mom and dad. So it's nice for them to see too that, no, mom and dad can be happy too. They can be funny. They don't need to be boring or fighting or nothing. They can be good,
And goofy,
good, funny
and
people.
honest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like you're definitely reaching a whole sort of new public and audience, not only kids, which I find that extraordinary, because it just, they're obviously our future. So the fact that we're able to set good examples for them, it just
Yes.
blows my mind. And on the same side, like couples like you, like, international couples, like you're able to make it work. You're able to make through the differences, and you're living your best life.
And I wanted to share something with you that I usually don't share this with social media at all. But I really like you that you start following us on TikTok and everything. I want to, because some people have some comments about like, you guys never say bad words, never do. No, we're humans, and we do those things too in our private space. But because right now we have people all the way from 8 years old to 70 years old following us, or even more, who knows? You know what? That's what I don't want to portray right there. We have discussions sometimes. We're going to have drinks because we're adults and we enjoy that. Every now and then we are going to be like kind of have adult time between he and me, because some other people to say, they send us videos, oh, you should do this, and it's maybe a little bit like too high, but we do think a lot about all of those kids that are following our accounts. And that's why we try our best to put content that is, all the way appropriate from 8 years old to 100 or more.
So I completely agree. Thank you for sharing that little tidbit, because I feel like that's fundamental as well. And obviously people are like very quick to judge. And obviously because you do have some TikToks that I know for a fact that you have, like the date nights, for example. And it's a typical thing that you flip the shoe and you got changed, or you sit down on the couch and you're changed, or, one of those videos. And I love that you also show that part, but you only show a certain extent, of course, because that's still your private life. I mean, me coming into like also the social media world in general, especially now more than ever, I run 3 podcasts. One of them is with my husband. I'm very, what you see is what you get, no matter where it is, as you can obviously tell. Like, this is who I am, obviously. And I'm like, but at the same time, I still need that privacy. I'm still going to be offline. I'm still going to make sure, because we all need that. So I like that you also think of your public that way, because you care for them. You genuinely care for them.
Yes.
And you know that you have an 8-year-old and up.
That's where we were about to say. We always look back at a video or an idea.
Say, do you like
and if I'm not okay with actually turning and showing it while I'm double checking it to our 8-year-old or 6-year-old and go, do you think that's funny? if I'm not comfortable to do that to them, we're not going to do that. We're not going to go forward with that idea. So, you know, we always keep that in mind. I don't want my son getting married or going to high school and going like, Mom, Dad, the TikToks you did like 10, 15 years ago, my friends at school are seeing them. It's so embarrassing, you know. And so we just want to make sure everything's all right from that perspective, right?
Which makes sense, and that's your priority as well. Like everyone's priority is different, so it could be like every answer is a valid answer, but the fact that you're like, this is our answer, this is what we believe in, and this is how we're gonna stay, you know. I got sidetracked again because you were in the middle of a sentence. I interrupted you, sorry, as well. But to wrap it up, basically, the last tidbit, actually, wrapping up TikTok, is that you were also in Un Nuevo Dia de Telemundo.
Yes.
So I wanted to congratulate you for that, because I think that's really huge. That means you've made it so big on TikTok, or like you made such an impact, you know. So my last question before I tell you the typical questions that I ask everybody is, what's your message? What do you want to say to your community once more?
What I want to say, and especially because I didn't know first why I was in TikTok or why I wanted to put myself in social media. And I think it was because I didn't want it to be in social media. You know, I never thought about this or anything. But then after evaluating who was liking our video, who was following, because I do pay attention to those things, I think what I want to tell everybody is that there's a lot of happiness. It doesn't matter if we are going through a pandemic. It doesn't matter if someone have lost their job, or a friend or a family member or something. We can be happy. Every day you can make yourself happy with smaller things. It doesn't need to be anything big. We are lucky enough to be all together as a family, but it's not that we're just happy because, oh, happiness came to us. No, we're happy because we make each other happy. Because the days that I'm sad, I even look at my husband or at my kids and I say, I need you guys to help me. I'm not feeling very good today. Mommy's a little sad. So can you be happy and make me happy and give me un abracito and un besito? I talk, I communicate, and they come. And what I want to tell everybody, that no matter what it comes, because I am a little bit afraid of what is coming in the future, especially working in the medical field, we can be happy. We need to be good as a society, and multicultural houses, homes, works, friendships, I think is the future. Today I was talking to my son, and our server was a Mexican girl, and she was able to go from English to Spanish at the same time me and my oldest son. And I look at my son and I say, did you see that girl? And he's like, yeah, look, that is the future. The future is someone that can go back and forth between two languages. I don't care if it's Chinese and Portuguese. I don't care if it's German and something, because that's showing caring for another culture, for another human being. So it's like, for me, it's be happy, be accepting of who you are. And even if you grew up in one cultural family, try to learn more about another culture. What about you?
Wow, I got to try and top that. I don't know. So just the biggest thing is enjoy yourself, be happy with yourself. You are who you are. Don't ever be ashamed of it. Laugh, smile, be happy. The world's a lot bigger than the things that you see around you. You know, and just always remember that the things that are around you and that you directly see every day and impact every day, yes, they can get overwhelming, but there's a bigger world out there. There's something more than that. And as long as you love yourself, you're okay with that. You smile, you're happy. Remember that the world is really big and that every day is a new day. You know, that's the biggest thing. Don't sweat the small stuff, you know, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, she kind of stumped me with her answer.
Of course.
I'm kind of bumbling through it a little bit, but that's the biggest thing.
Thank you so much for sharing your message with us, your time and your energy, and just like you said, your honesty, your communication, and everything. Super thankful to have you here. So definitely for last, what I always ask is 3 last questions. They're really easy. Number 1 is 3 words to describe you.
You go first.
Describe us or
No, you.
Individually?
You individually.
Stubborn, lighthearted, and deceptively passionate. There we go.
Love it. How about you, Carla?
I think because I live here in United States, because I think when I live in Peru, I will never describe myself as the first word that I'm gonna say, but the first one is Latina. I'm very proud of that. The second one will be smart, because I think every woman is smart. And I think the third one will be caring, because that is the way for everybody. If you don't care for something, you will never be able to love. You will never be able to go to school if that's not what you care about it. So I would say Latina, power, smart, I'm sorry, that it comes with powerful too, of course, and caring.
I adore it so, so much. What are you thankful for?
Every moment of every day. I'm thankful all the time. I'm thankful that I get to wake up every morning next to her. I'm thankful that I get to, have a great job that I love, that I do. I'm thankful to get to watch my boys play soccer. So just everything, every moment of every day, I'm thankful.
Again, things have changed my perspective. And I think after going through a global pandemic, the best thing that God was able to give me is my family. And when I say my family, I'm not only talking, of course, my nuclear family, that is my husband and my 2 boys and my doggy, but it is my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, my brother in Peru. It's everybody, my aunt, my uncle, it's everybody. That is the best thing that God gave me, my family.
Thank you so much for being here. And last and definitely not least, where can we find you?
So on TikTok at the Gates Familia, on Instagram at the Gates Familia, and on YouTube at the Gates Familia.
Yes.
So
and if you're traveling, you might run into us in airports. We like to travel too. So.
One thing that too I want to share with everybody is because if you are able to come to TikTok or to YouTube, you are gonna see our new logo. We were able to create something to put together, me and David, how we look. And we wanted to put something, not only the Gates Familia, but something that our followers in TikTok start pointing out at us. That is honey, honey. I never realized that I call my honey, honey, honey. And that was something that we, in a way of wanted to say thank you, because they have made those comments so many times. And we appreciate, we try to read every single comment. So if you have an opportunity, come check us out in TikTok. You can see every single little 15 seconds and sometimes 1 minute videos of our crazy life and funny life and happy life. And if you would like to come and see some more of our day-to-day, like today we went to have brunch and we post some pictures in Instagram. That's what you will find in Instagram. And I promise you, I'm gonna put more things in YouTube so you will have more time to have full stories of who we are, what we do, and our travel. Because every time we travel, we put it in YouTube.
Love it, adore it. Thank you so, so much for being with us today, for celebrating your story, your life. Super grateful. Definitely grateful to have you with us over here at the Always Believe Road Team Flyer. And as for us, basically, if you don't have anything else you wanted to add to that beautiful speech and statement, hard to believe, but here we go.
Yeah.
We will see you all next week, of course, with another Go to Fly story. Be sure to check out as well. We also had Carla for Mother's Day special. So please sure to check that one out if you haven't yet. And see you all soon. Bye, Team Flyer.
Bye.